I'm Mike Jimenez, and this is The Acquired Taste. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Hope everyone's having a fantastic Monday. Hope everyone had a good weekend. We're going to be joined in a minute here by JJ Gorena. He's just walking in right now. Entrepreneur, all-around badass, poker player, and all of that. We have a big show today, going to be produced by Joe Garcia. Again, hope everyone has a fantastic start to the work week. JJ Gorena, you might know him from Bobby and JJ Radio on KLUP AM 930.
Yeah.
He's an entrepreneur. The dude makes money, man. The dude is a big wig. You are on my council of ballers is what it is,
Okay,
JJ.
I'll take
How
it.
you doing on Monday, man?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
Dude, we're doing great, man. This we celebrated this past weekend. It was
Tell me
the
about it.
1 month mark of our podcast.
I've been watching. It's awesome.
So we've had a fun time. We were at Mad Pecker's Brewery. Had a great time over there. People showed up, but we didn't do the karaoke thereafter. So that's the thing. The next get together for our listeners is going to be about karaoke.
Count me out. But yeah.
Count you out. But we're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And again, if you subscribe to us on YouTube, don't forget to hit the like button. Also, you can take part in the interactive chat. We see what you're saying in real time. But big show today. You know, a local congressman got Spurs fans pissed off over the weekend, and I riled it up, baby. I'm gonna take full credit for this because one of his tweets was about the Spurs arena and whether or not the Spurs should actually get a new one. So we'll talk about that in a minute. Spurs pulled off a trade over the weekend. Now we have too many players on the roster. Who are the three on the chopping block? Jimmy Butler, my man, dating Shakira. And later we're going to be talking about dating after divorce because that's what we do here. We talk about sports, pop culture, nostalgia, and also things that go through guys' minds. And I know that you went through that. I went through that as well. And also in about 30 minutes or so, something that I know is going to go viral. Jeff Garcia, our good friend from Locked On Spurs, something happened on his show today that was so funny and exciting for a father and son that were on his show today. Absolutely amazing. I know it's going to be retweeted and retweeted. It's going to be a viral moment here in San Antonio. Again, don't forget to subscribe to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5. But let's get going.
Yeah, let's do it.
So you know a lot about real estate, right? So that's the thing. You know, you are in the real estate business, but on the commercial side of things,
Yeah.
I want to get into how viable it is for the Spurs to have an arena downtown because over the weekend, I noticed a local congressman. He's a U.S. congressman. So this is a guy that goes to Washington. He made a tweet about the Spurs, and his name is Tony Gonzalez. He's a Republican who represents District 23. And if you don't know what District 23 is, it's the weirdest district in all of the state because
up really weird.
It goes from Helotes and West Bexar County, where I live, all the way to El Paso.
Yeah.
It goes 560
Isn't it the biggest
miles.
county, one of the biggest counties in the U.S.?
It's the longest one in the U.S. It's that's called gerrymandering, by the way.
Yeah.
But it's just basically this whole thing that hugs the border, if you will.
Sure.
And he tweeted out there, this is Representative Tony Gonzalez, quote, "Not one San Antonio taxpayer dollar should be spent on an arena for a team that's playing games in Austin," end quote.
Oof.
Harsh.
Yeah.
And I responded back with a quoted retweet. "I'd rather the Spurs play 39 games in San Antonio instead of 0. East Side development around the AT&T Center never happened and never will happen. A downtown sports complex for basketball and baseball makes sense. Let's think like a big city for once." And that was my retweet, which got retweeted several times.
Sure.
The thing about it is that I think this representative is out of touch with what this whole issue is about. What do you think about the Spurs potentially looking at a downtown complex? Because the Express News reported that on Friday, that after the Spurs got Wemby, they started looking at the idea of a downtown sports arena.
Sure. So as a commercial real estate agent, I think it comes with, you look at some of the other big cities, like when you go to Dallas, right? The arenas are downtown. Denver, the arenas are downtown. Chicago, the arenas are downtown. It's all walkability. I know we're in Texas. So Houston. Houston has Minute Maid Park right in the middle of everything, right? So the taxation that I think when you have any of the parties talking about taxation, they're talking about the taxation to maybe build it, but what they're not talking about is the taxation of what we get from having a downtown arena walkable to so much of the commercial real estate that and by the way, the untaxable commercial real estate that we have downtown, or low tax commercial real estate we have downtown with the Grand Hyatt, with all the Marriotts. These are all obviously for conventions and our tourism, but the reason why we shouldn't be looking at it as a taxation point of view is because if we had, imagine having the Flying Chanclas and the Spurs right next door to each other, walking distance from all the Marriotts and all of the, well, I'm kind of biased. I have 2 Airbnbs down there, but all the stuff that's downtown, and you can walk around after the game and go grab drinks and go have dinner before and after. I can tell you that the AT&T Center, which was the SBC Center, it has really helped the East Side break through, because you remember what the East Side was before that, what Cherry Street was before that. Like, you went to the East Side to either get in trouble or try to get in trouble, right? Mm-hmm. It has really done some good for that side of town, but you're right. With the most robust economy in human history, and with the Spurs having the dynasty that they just ended, we would have seen, because they thought that Commerce was just going to be this strip of bars like Rainey Street. It would have happened by now.
The problem with it is that it's so landlocked there, because if you look at the AT&T Center, you have the Freeman Coliseum right next door. You've got some big red plant across the way. You've got railroad tracks, and then you've got a municipal golf course on the left-hand side. Yeah, it's landlocked. Okay, so the Spurs wanted the arena there. Okay, make no mistake, they wanted it.
Real estate.
Yes, on East Houston, right? And so it's funny because you have Representative Gonzalez who's against it, and then you now have on the other side of the aisle a Democrat, Nelson Wolf.
But it's because that's his baby.
Yes,
that's his baby.
Because again, the Spurs signed a 30-year lease with the AT&T Center, and they've got 9 years left on it. And you're right, it is his baby. No different than Wolf Stadium on the west side is his baby as well. But the baby's got to be taken away at some point, because you can't be playing.
We're calling CPS on them.
Exactly. You can't be
the
playing.
The baby has a dirty diaper, man.
It needs to be changed.
You can't be playing a game in a 30-year-old stadium, man. You can't. Yeah. And there's nothing there, and nothing will ever be there. It's just so frustrating. So people keep asking the question, well, where do you build this stinking arena? Well, you need to have parking. Well, first of all, there is parking. It's called the Alamo Dome. The Alamo Dome can provide the parking there. So you see that land that's right across the way. There's 2 different areas there. There's the Institute for Texan Cultures, which, by the way, nobody goes to.
Right.
Okay. It is a place that you go to if you are a 3rd grader on a field trip. That's when you go to the Institute of Texan Cultures.
For sure.
UTSA has already talked about moving it because, again, nobody goes there. Then you have the other side of the Alamo Dome, where you have that Bill Miller's that's there, and then you have all that property right there, that
all the way down to Essex City.
Yeah. So the reason why I look at that is I look at it 2 different ways. If you can build along that area right there where the Institute of Texan Cultures is,
right,
it's a gateway, half a mile distance to Southtown, maybe about a mile distance to the Riverwalk, and then you've got the Hyatt right there. It all makes sense. Everything is in walking distance,
and it's on the public transportation system as well.
Exactly. So,
and it would change our skyline.
Yeah,
it would.
You know, it sounds cliche, but like, you know, we have one of the most dismal skylines. By the way, I'm going to say this, and I said it before. I've lived all over. We have the best downtown in America. We have the cleanest downtown, the most, like, we have the best. Like, I was just there this weekend. All of our Airbnbs got booked, so we were homeless, so we went downtown to stay just at a hotel. We walked around, and I forget, like, how beautiful it is, how clean it is, how much stuff there is to do. Like, you go to Dallas downtown, if there's no game, it's dead. 6 p.m. it's like The Walking Dead. Yeah. Houston's the same way. We have the best one. That being said, though, our skyline is, you know, besides the Frost Building, what has happened to our skyline in the last decade? There's really nothing.
Nothing.
The Alamo Dome, you see them in the right corner. But yeah, if you, and by the way, the Alamo Dome was named one of the ugliest properties in America.
There's no lie there, man. No lie.
I mean, why do we keep that thing going?
Well, the thing about the Alamo Dome, let's talk about that, because I do have a photo that I posted on Twitter earlier this morning, late last night. What was there before was Alamo Ironworks and this ugly shopping complex that was over there as well.
Right.
So I would much rather have the Alamo Dome there than the pile of rocks that was there beforehand. Is it a pretty dome? No. But I think the problem is that people think that the Alamo Dome has been a failure, but it's not.
No, it hasn't.
It hasn't been a failure. Okay, it failed getting a team from the NFL to San Antonio. That's where it failed, and that's why people just keep on harping on that, going, it was a failure because no NFL team is here. But all the
That's
Final
Jerry
Fours,
Jones's fault.
Yes. Well, that's also the Spurs
And it was
fault.
touted also that they might get an MLB team they can
Right.
play there, but it's too big for
Everyone
MLB.
uses us as leverage.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you've had Final Fours, men's and women's.
For sure.
You've had wrestling events. You've had
UTSA.
big UTSA football. You have boxing
Bad
events.
Bunny came by.
Bad Bunny.
Metallica. You've had
Yeah.
U2.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Mana.
The fact of the matter is that it is actually a very profitable, maybe not very, but it's a profitable thing that the city of San Antonio has had with the Alamo Dome. It has been a net positive. Nelson,
Especially since we still have the AT&T Center.
right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, think about, they still have the AT&T Center for all those artists that you just said. Like, they still pick the Alamo Dome. Why? Location, bro.
And that's Nelson Wolf's argument right there. Is okay. You build a downtown arena. What happens to the AT&T Center?
Mm-hmm.
Does it become the Astrodome? Where it's just it's just there with nothing. And then he's saying, well, then you'd have to compete with other venues. Well, tough crap.
Yeah.
Tough crap. I mean, time goes on.
You're right.
And the Spurs have a 9-year
Lease.
lease still with the AT&T Center. It doesn't mean that they can't get out of it.
Right.
It just means that
Well, is there
Yeah.
a sponsor yet?
not yet.
Fred's
Fish Fry has not come up, has not stepped up.
Haven't stepped up.
They only have money during Lent.
Mm.
So that's the
Oh,
thing.
man, they got money. They got
Do
money
you
year round.
wait? Do you think it's money laundering? Maybe I get killed.
I don't want to get sued on this podcast.
Oh,
So I don't,
My bad.
I don't know
Allegedly.
about-
Allegedly. But like, have you ever walked in there? I just feel like you just hear like, brrr, like.
The
No,
cash
man,
flow.
I actually went to go eat lunch not too long ago with one
As
of my
long as-
buddies, man.
As long as someone's been there.
Yeah, I've been.
I'm
there,
afraid
dude.
like you go in there like, oh my god, someone's here, and then like they actually turn the deep fryer on that hasn't been on for 5 years. They're like, oh my god, someone actually wants fish.
It's like the town, right? It's,
Yeah,
it's a flower
the-
shop.
yeah, the flower shop. You go in the
The
back.
florist.
Allegedly.
Now, so I just find this to be a fascinating topic because the
Okay,
Spurs, the second the Spurs got Victor Wembanyama, everything changed.
Yeah.
It was like, no, it's the AT&T Center. It's the AT&T Center. We got Wemby. Oh crap, we need to get that guy a palace, and that's the thing. And then the Spurs being part of the when you have that Spurs flavor as part of the Mission's new ownership group,
Sure.
David Robinson,
Right.
Manu Ginobili. There's some synergy when it comes to all
Yeah.
of that. And people keep asking me, well, why would we care about the tourists? Because we're a tourist town.
We're touristic, yeah. I'm gonna say some controversial stuff here. You guys ready?
Let's hear it.
Yeah.
As a Spurs fanatic, and you know I am one.
Yeah.
One of the biggest Spurs fanatics ever. Why do we care if they go to Austin?
Okay, first of all, go to Austin as in full-time or 2 games a year?
Look, I love Spurs.
Okay, we got to get them out. We
Yeah.
got to get them
No,
out.
hear me
Now,
out.
this is not controversial.
No, hear me out. Hear me out. So we are DFW. We just haven't admitted it yet. You know what I mean? You ever have that couple that they live together, they have kids together, they bought
Yeah.
houses together? That's Austin and San Antonio. We are DFW. We are married. We are one metroplex.
Well, it's funny that you say that because you have Dallas and Fort Worth as
That's
a
a metroplex.
right? San Antonio,
Twin Cities.
San Antonio and Austin. Growing up, because I'm from San Antonio as well, and I remember growing up, it was like, wow, there's a 70-mile difference between the two cities. And then you saw San Antonio creep and start touching
And they do
New
too.
Braunfels, and then San Marcos and Kyle and Buda and all those cities. Really, there's only like a 10-mile stretch of land where there's really not much of
As a
anything.
commercial real estate agent, I can tell you there's not. There used to be an exits where you would see farmland, and it's gone now.
Yeah.
It's-
We are a metroplex, and we're a metroplex on both sides. We're a metroplex on the Seguin side and on the 35 side. The reason that we haven't become one is because it's just hasn't been official. But as a Spurs fanatic,
Right.
we become Memphis because we can't recruit any talent. Because when you're a multi-billionaire, right, or millionaire,
Yeah.
these athletes, they're like San Antonio, dude, like San Antonio, homie. But like
It's the
Austin, dude,
nightlife, man.
Austin's sexy, man. Austin's in ULA.
Austin is sexy, but there's the fact of the matter is the Spurs have been here for 50 years.
But it's still the Spurs. You know what I mean? Like,
if the Spurs ever moved to Austin, I wouldn't cheer for them.
Are you crazy, dude?
No,
Are you
they're dead to
crazy?
me. They're
No,
dead to me at that
No,
point.
man.
Now,
But
I
I this is one thing that I keep coming back to, man.
I don't
I
care.
think that if the Spurs are actually looking to build a new arena, the
Austin.
reason that they keep going to Austin is that they're going to try to find a middle ground
yeah,
in between San Antonio
No,
and Austin.
We're all pissed.
It doesn't need to happen. It doesn't need to happen.
I'm just saying, where are they building their new facility, their practice facility?
1604. La Cantera, which is
Okay.
nowhere near Austin.
It's not near Austin, but I'm saying they're
But
building
Dallas
it.
Cowboys have their preseason here.
But the Spurs are smart because they're building the practice facility that's actually near some other things that you can go to.
Yeah.
You know, you can get to that area.
Why can't we
There's
just
things
like
to do?
like it's like a child custody? Why can't we just all agree on Seguin or something? That's like,
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
Seguin.
just saying. I think
Well, the problem is that you can't go 35 north
No, I know.
because
No.
35 is a
no.
war
Crap show.
zone when it
Crap
comes
show.
to the way that it works. Now, I was always fearful of the Spurs moving to the Circuit of Americas because if they were
Why
ever
not?
moved to Austin,
all right.
but the one reason why the Spurs won't go to Austin is because University of Texas won't allow it. University of Texas is the dominant sports figure in the city of Austin, and that's why they won't allow it.
Dude.
But the thing about it is that the Spurs, increasing the size of the footprint
Mhm.
of the fan base has been a big deal. When I went to the game in Austin, went to one of the games that the Spurs played
Tell me
over
about
there. It was weird being in a stadium where 2/3 of the fans there, A, don't follow the Spurs, B, went there for a curiosity factor,
Right.
and C, don't have that deep-rooted fandom
Mm-hmm.
that's there. And
You felt that?
oh, I do. I interviewed people about this.
Mm.
I talked to several people. They're like, dude, we're just here because it's something new to do.
Gotcha.
We're not fans of the team. And I think that that's maybe something that the Spurs front office saw that we didn't see, that maybe we got upset about, was the fact that they saw, hey, there's a big city that's almost the size of San Antonio, that's 1 hour drive away,
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't have a fan base, that doesn't cheer for the Mavericks, doesn't cheer for the Rockets, doesn't cheer for the Spurs, that we can go and grab them. And
what I think is happening is that we're looking for corporate sponsorship. There's way more corporations in Austin than there are in San Antonio that can afford to put their name on the AT&T Center.
and we've seen that with Self, and we've
Yeah.
seen that with a lot of other companies that
Yeah.
are, Dell.
Dell.
Dell bought into the Spurs. But the Spurs aren't going to be moving to Austin. But
I wouldn't be mad at
if,
them if they did,
if
though.
you make, well, dude, they'd be dead to me.
That's crazy.
They'd be dead
Crazy
to me. They'd be yeah. Let's see how many Oklahoma City Thunder fans there are in Seattle. They're dead to me.
That's a big move, though.
dude.
Bro.
No,
That's like the panhandle from the Pacific Northwest.
No. That's it's a biggest.
You're talking like one Torchy's taco.
We
to
will
another.
not have this slander in
All right.
here. Dude, that would be the biggest middle finger to the city of San Antonio ever.
Well,
That would be a
I
huge.
think it goes back to
middle
our
finger.
original conversation. Is like, if we don't build it, then there's a chance that happens.
I
right?
think
That's
that's
it.
what the Spurs are going to do. They're going to use leverage, but at the end of the
I
day,
would.
they're gonna have an arena that's going to build probably in the downtown area or near
I
downtown,
hope so.
and it's going to appease both the fan base and the city council.
Yeah, I hope so.
Now you were talking about the Metroplex that is and isn't there.
Sure.
Fact of the matter is that Austin's size is very similar to San Antonio. San Antonio has always been in the
But
30s.
look at these numbers. And
San Antonio is the 31st highest city when it comes to it all. Austin is 35. You combine the two, you'd have 2 million what's called viewers, right? TV
Mhm.
homes, and that would put the Spurs right at number 14, right
See?
ahead of Detroit, ahead of cities like Minneapolis, St. Paul, Denver, Orlando,
which has an
Miami.
NFL team.
Right,
Because I think
above
once we
Cleveland as well.
once we become a Metroplex, then denying us an NFL team, denying us an MLB team. Once Austin ASA or SAA, once we finally just get married, it's that we're that those. It's like we're
No.
the Theo and Thea that just.
San Antonio
have
is still
kids.
behind other cities when it comes to big name sponsorships.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I think that San Antonio and Austin becoming a Metroplex will happen, and
It's going to happen.
It will happen. It's just when will it happen? Because there's
But while it's not happening, we're
there's
having
a-
these conversations where, like, we can't pick up an MLB team, we can't pick up an NFL team. But dude, if like you said, you look at the numbers right here, we're huge at that point, and we're undeniable.
The Dallas Cowboys moved from Irving to Arlington. They got to the halfway point of it all.
Sure,
San Antonio and Austin, there's no halfway point.
there's a lot of halfway points.
Well, no, what I'm saying is that the halfway point is very difficult to get to because the road structure on 35 North, 35 South is basically a war zone between the hours of 5 p.m. and 7 p.m., which is when
if I were king, I would do like parking in both cities and just meet in Marion. Marion has some cheap land, dude. And
Hey,
it's pretty.
Marion.
one of our viewers
got some barbecue
has a
over
good
there.
question, man.
I want to hear it.
Harry Austin. He says the question that has not been asked is this new stadium, does it house UTSA basketball with UTSA football downtown?
that's a very interesting point because
Now I think that would kill the Alamo Dome. That would be the uppercut So that's when I do think that it becomes Astrodome.
But could they use the facility to at least house UTSA basketball?
Well, no. What he's saying is you keep
Yeah.
the Alamo Dome for the football purposes,
Oh, but just for the basketball.
but use the basketball for college and use the AAA baseball field for UTSA as well. That's a collaborative that needs to happen because it's weird because I've always been an advocate of UTSA having its own football stadium. But the fact of the matter is that it's so much cheaper, and a lot of San Antonio fans like the fact that it's centralized in downtown. I mean, if it was at UTSA is really, I mean, don't get me wrong, you can get anywhere in San Antonio within 45 minutes, but it's still far northwest side.
They're not set up for 10,000 people showing up at UTSA campus. That campus is not built for that. It's not like UT.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not at all. Talking to JJ Gorena, entrepreneur here in town, all around badass. Hey, we were talking about this this past couple of weeks, and I need to talk to you later on in the show about poker.
Sure.
But we had a guy from San Antonio who made his way into the top 35.
I know.
So Brian Obregon made his way very high up. So very cool. Gonna talk about a viral moment.
Sure.
You want to get into this? Should we get into the viral moment already?
Well, real quick.
Yeah, I can
last
show it
year,
up.
Cedric, my boy, Trevino, he got it. I posted about it, but I feel it's the biggest upset in San Antonio sports history. It's top 5. It's, for me, it goes 0.4 Derek Fisher, or the Manu Ginobili foul that he didn't have to do in Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, on Dirk.
It's the Ray Allen's. That's number 1 actually. The Ray Allen's 3, right in Miami. And I'll be honest with you, Cedric Trevino, I posted about it. I went to go be his railbird. He got to day 6 of the World Series of Poker last year. He dominated this table. He had pocket kings, and he coaxed some kid to go all in with him with pocket jacks. And then the kid got a jack on the turn. He had like a 2% chance of winning. If not, Cedric would have been the 2nd or 3rd chip leader. And he probably, with the skills that I know that he has, he'd probably be the first person from Texas to win the Texas Hold'em tournament, which is the World Series of Poker. How's the Texan not won?
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there was a guy from San Antonio who won the pot limit.
Yeah, I know him.
Omaha.
Yeah, he's a really good player.
Very cool.
Yeah, I think we need to mention one of our sponsors here, Mike.
Oh yeah. Well, let's talk about before we get into our sponsors, but Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs. Don't forget to subscribe to him. He has a story out today. A couple of things. One is that there is a hot dog stand downtown that created a hot dog in honor of Victor Wembanyama.
What's it called?
Oh my goodness! It is. I forgot what it's called, but the place, Winnacetto is the place that it is. 507 East Houston. It's made out of a French baguette, French onion, cheese, jalapenos, chives, and more.
Man.
Yeah, we're going to show you a photo of this because this thing is absolutely massive.
Winnacetto.
It is so big that they actually have to serve it on a tray. Okay, the thing is massive. And by the way, the nice little touch that they have with it is that it is served with a small French flag on top of it all. But yeah, Wemby has his own hot dog. The thing is massive. Are you showing the photo there?
I'm bringing it up right now. Let me see.
Yeah, Jeff Garcia tweeted this out here.
Let me go ahead and
today.
share it. I got the slide ready to go. So
it is disgusting.
It is
big.
disgusting, dude.
It is massive.
I mean, we haven't tried it yet. How do we know?
There we go.
I mean,
here it is. I'm gonna play that video.
They're adding the French music.
Yeah, that's them doing that.
Maybe
big enough for about 4 people, I'm thinking, over here. But again, that's at 507 East Houston. You can read the article on kens5.com. Jeff Garcia, a good friend of our show, he called super excited because the latest edition of Locked On Spurs is going to go viral. That I know for a fact.
It's called the Wembenazo.
Wembenazo. There you go. Well, let's go ahead and get that video going for Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs.
That.
Jeff Garcia, he does daily content when it comes to Spurs coverage. And I'm often on the show. Joe's often on the show. And we talk about all things when it comes to the silver and black, all things when it comes to Wemby and the Spurs. But the funny thing is that he had his first ever father-son moment on the show. It's on YouTube, and the father and son bought a box of basketball cards. And the holy grail right now is a Victor Wembanyama rookie card, because it's going for about $8,000 out there. And it's
like
so rare.
Ticket.
It's so rare. So they had this box of cards, and they're just going pack after pack after pack. Do you have the video there?
Yeah.
So we're going to play the video and the sound of it all. So they're going pack after pack after pack. And what's so funny is that the young kid that's there with him, with the father, thought, oh, I don't have anything. And he threw the last pack on the table.
Packs we got left to rip.
I went through them all. Yeah, he's about to go through them all. I already have, I'm on my last third. Basically.
Okay. Rip them. Help. Maybe Dad can help you out there. Rip them up.
I was trying. Oh!
We got it. Dude, we get it.
We were going so fast. I didn't see it.
What happened? Show everybody what we got.
David pulled Wemby. I was going too fast.
Put it on the screen. Put it on the screen.
David pulled Wemby. Oh my God.
More in the middle.
Oh.
There
So
it is.
freaking cool.
I was going
Golden ticket.
The reaction of both of them jumping backwards, Joe, was absolutely ridiculous, because he had already gone through all the packs, and apparently in the last pack he just kind of like, went nope, not there, and he threw it off to the side, and the dad basically spread the cards out a little bit.
There it is.
And there it is. There it was. Going for $8,000 again.
Wow.
You can check that out. Jeff Garcia, Locked On Spurs, Ken's 5.
It's his latest episode.
His latest episode. It just got sent in about an hour ago. So again, you can go check out. Don't forget to subscribe to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5. Hey, Spurs pulled off a trade over the weekend.
I like it. Oh, so the campaign. So we campaigning?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
I like it. I like it.
I'm going to coin that for you, but we're campaigning. I think. And I like it. What do you think about it?
Oh, I loved it. You know what's so funny? Spurs fans are just pissing me off on Spurs Twitter these days. They're pissing me off because if the Spurs aren't getting an all-star, they don't give two craps about who's being brought. And I'm like, campaign, he's actually a pretty decent player. He can knock down threes.
Did you see him against the Clips? He had some amazing games against the Clips, and I feel like he was kind of constrained because Booker has the ball most of the time.
Yeah.
And when he's actually able to run an offense, he's a player. And I think Spurs fans have to remember that, unlike Phil Jackson and all these other quote unquote awesome coaches, besides Tim and David and Gervin, well, let's say just Tim and David, Pop doesn't recruit all-stars, he creates them.
Interesting point. It's been once in 30 years, right? LaMarcus Aldridge was the all-star that the Spurs recruited to the
He had
city
his
of San
best years
Antonio.
here, though.
Yeah, he wasn't a bad pickup. The thing about it is that Spurs fans are just pissing me off because it's like you see a campaign, right? This is a guy that averaged 20 minutes per game last year.
Yeah.
10.5 points, 4.5 assists, couple of
Those are all
rebounds per
gonna go
game. Those are all good numbers there
Mhm.
for a potential backup point guard.
Yeah.
You need to have what did the Spurs need, right? The Spurs needed a point guard, right? They got Trey Jones.
A true one. Yeah.
They got Trey Jones, and then they got another one in
Mhm.
campaign. And Spurs fans are coming at me on Twitter saying, oh, they want Dame Lillard, right? It's not going to happen.
Dame Dollar, because that's what I would have called
Yes.
him if he was here, is Dame Dollar.
It's not going to happen.
I don't know.
So Spurs fans just get in their panties in a bunch because the Spurs are going out there getting good, decent role players out there. The Spurs have already made it be known that they believe their stars are Wemby, Sohan, Keldon, and Vassell. That is what the Spurs are saying that their stars are going to be, and they're getting players like Cameron Payne to back these guys up. The
Sure.
problem
We don't
is,
even know he's going to be on the team come when,
and-
October when the
and-
games.
well, we
finally
got
start.
cash and we got a second round pick.
Yeah,
well,
he might be
and we
let
just
go,
we
man.
gave up a second round pick.
Right.
We essentially we assumed his contract is basically what it is.
Exactly.
But if you look at the Spurs roster right now, you're only allowed 18 players, and the Spurs have you're allowed 15 players.
18, yeah.
The Spurs have 18. So thumbs up, thumbs down. Will they be on the team? Keldon Johnson, that's a thumbs up. Doug McDermott, that's a thumbs up. Wemby, thumbs up. Devontae Graham, okay, so we're gonna hold off to the side. Reggie Bullock, off to the side. Trey Jones, yes, they signed him. Zach Collins, yes. Kim
Yes.
Birch,
Mm.
C.D. Osman. Dude, Pop has had a hard on for him for 5 years, dude. No, that guy's on the team.
Campaign, maybe.
Campaign,
Like you said, maybe.
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 Vassell, yes. Sohan, yes. Branham, yes.
Yeah.
Champ Penny, yes. Blake Wesley might go to Austin. Bassey's a yes. Mamu, Lamar Stevens.
Mine would probably goes Austin too.
So, so a couple of them can go to Austin, right? But the Spurs are going to keep the vast majority of these players, obviously. But the Spurs have to get rid of a couple. And I'm looking at the possibility of it being like a Reggie Bullock, although I do like a Reggie Bullock. I mean, you need to have some veteran presence there at the 3 spot.
He'd be this season's Gorgie Dang.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he would be. But in looking at some of these players, I know a lot of Spurs fans are excited about Mamu, but dude, we're already loaded at that big guy position.
We're way loaded.
Yeah.
And it's where we've been hurting for the last couple of years too. And I think we were just stacking and not knowing that we're going to get Wemby. But you know what is going to be a tricky thing, I think, is that we're a point guard centric league or 1-2 guard centric league. And so we're going to have to slow down the game.
All right, let's take a look at some of the posts coming in on our chat line over here. Again, if you follow us on YouTube, you can actually we can read your comments in real time. So let's go through some of these real fast.
They're talking about that hot dog. They said we need a breakfast taco. Tacos named after Victor Wembanyama.
Oh, you know what? He's already eaten tacos from Palenque, man.
Jason
Have you seen the
Garcia.
pictures of him all fat?
Yeah, I saw that. That's
Jason
funny.
Garcia is crazy.
So let's go to the campaign talk. Matt Lerma says campaign was not liking it. Han says it's good point guard insurance for the Spurs.
Sure.
Don't think they like what they got with Blake Wesley. That's the thing. Blake Wesley might need to marinate a little bit longer in Austin. Matt Lerma saying campaign posted go Spurs. That's not bad. After seeing Cam's tweet and like tweets, he's not a fan, and neither am I. LOL. Again, campaign is going to be a guy that is a backup point guard. Mario reaches out and says Payne put up 31 points in this year's playoffs against Denver, 7 of 9 from 3, and he's a lefty. Thumbs up.
Yep.
Again, this is one of those things where Spurs fans don't get excited because he's not an 8-time All-Star. I'm sorry, but the Spurs need to have a veteran presence out there.
Campaign was in the finals, though.
Yeah, you need to have a veteran out there. Tim saying campaign was huge in the finals with the Suns 2 years ago. That's the thing about it. That's the thing. Matt is accusing Cam of liking Wemby slander on Twitter. So what? So what? Your teammates now. You get over it. You get over it, dude. We had what? Draymond Green knock out Jordan Poole for crying out loud.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you get over it.
And now your boys.
you get over it. But I'm joined by entrepreneur JJ Gorena. I've known for a long, long time. One of the nicest guys I've ever met in my entire life.
Thanks, man.
Think the world of you. We're going to get into some man-to-man talk in a little bit when it comes to it all, because that's the thing about this show. It's about sports, pop culture, nostalgia. We're going to get into all of that today, but it's also about just making sure that that guys have a place to turn to that's not so machismo, right? We can have in-depth conversations about various things. JJ's my guy. He's in the real estate business. He does a lot of commercial real estate as well.
I used to have you on my radio show all the time.
You did.
You were our financial advisor guru.
The guru.
Yeah.
The guru.
Yeah.
Let's show some love to our sponsor, Cynthia J. Sanchez of JPAR Real Estate. She's been in the business for 16 years. Cynthia J. Sanchez is someone who has a very unique background because she was also a claims adjuster for USAA for many, many years. So she did that for 20 years before becoming a realtor 16 years ago. So when she walks into a home, she has a different type of eye for things because she's looking for things that might break down, things that you may want to reconsider or want to have the seller fix before you buy. Again, JPAR Real Estate, 210-273-0748, 210-273-0748. If you want to have an analysis of your home to see what it would actually go for, not necessarily what Zillow says or any of these websites say, she can give you an analysis of what is going on in your neighborhood, apples to apples, what you can expect to sell your home for. Again, it's JPAR Real Estate, Cynthia J. Sanchez, 210-273-0748.
She's a good real estate agent.
She is. She does a fantastic job. And you know what? She's also offering a $600 value, which is a warranty on certain parts of the home. We talk about the dishwasher, the AC,
All the
mechanical
mechanicals,
appliances,
yeah.
water heater. You got to buy through her. She'll get you that warranty there for the first year up to a $600 value.
Yeah, if you plug it in, she's got it covered, it's pretty solid.
Not bad at all. Talking to JJ Gorena, entrepreneur here in San Antonio. Got to give a quick update because I talked so much about how Novak Djokovic is a badass at Wimbledon, and he ended up losing yesterday in the finals.
That was a tough game, though, dude.
Carlos Alcaraz of Spain, 20-year-old man.
And we got the video.
Won his second major. Let's go ahead and show the match point. Match point, Djokovic.
I think Djokovic just lost his.
He lost his school in the third set.
And here it is.
Djokovic is deposed as a new king.
Was arguing with everybody. But if you play this out, notice how gracious he was with Alcaraz.
6-1.
He had a beef yesterday with the line judges. He had a beef with the officials.
He's beaten the best of all
And
time.
the thing about him is that Djokovic is considered to be a dapper.
He's beaten a man who is.
He was right more often than he was wrong yesterday. Yesterday, in basketball and in football, you can ask for a replay to be done. You can question the call.
Sure.
He was right almost every single time. They were calling some of his balls out, and he goes, check it, and it was in. They were calling some of Alcaraz's shots in when he knew they were out, check it. And every time he would go to it, he was correct. And at some point, he was getting so frustrated with the line judges and the officials that it got his head out of the game. He ended up losing the second set, which he should have won. He lost that set in a tiebreak. And in the third set, he was playing like he was 19, 20 years old all over again in the sense that his head game wasn't there. He got his ass handed to him in the third set, bounced back in the fourth. The fifth was back and forth, but Alcaraz pulled it off. And, man, that touch that Alcaraz has with those drop shots, absolutely amazing. And
Chris Gonzalez brings up a point. Look at that comment.
yeah, Joker looked old in that match. You know what?
How old is he?
Joker is 36.
36.
Yeah, that's
The-
pretty old. I mean, for
He's the GOAT, though. The most Grand Slams in tennis history on the men's side.
And you brought up a point, too. You were saying how spry the young Spaniard was running all over the place.
Dude, he couldn't get the ball by him.
Them young legs, bro.
There was just something about how bendy he was. He was getting everything.
That's youth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is that Joker steamrolls the competition. Face this guy. Now, this is the second time they've met in the finals of a Grand Slam this year. They met in the French Open, and Djokovic won that one. But now
I
on
didn't
grass,
see that. Was it handedly?
yes, it was.
Really?
Yeah, I think he beat him in 4.
Mm.
But in this one right here, not so much. But you have this up-and-comer guy, Carlos Alcaraz, 20 years old. Wimbledon had Alcaraz as the 1 seed over Djokovic, even though Djokovic was the defending champ, had won the tournament there 7 times, and has 22 Grand Slams. They're like, nope, Alcaraz is the number 1 seed, and they were right. Apparently they were right. But Djokovic, he essentially played himself yesterday.
You feel that way?
Because it was one of those, it's kind of like a poker player who's a bully who played somebody who plays just like him.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait a minute, I'm getting a taste of my own medicine.
Yeah.
A younger version.
Because
Yes.
he was like going out to the crowd he was the Spaniard was Alcaraz or whatever.
Yeah.
He was talking mess. Like he was pretty confident in most of that entire match.
And he was laughing. Like
Mhm.
he had this spirit about himself.
Swag.
But that's what happens when everybody's cheering for you.
right.
No one was cheering for Djokovic out there other than
Mhm.
his wife and his coach.
Mhm.
And that was the weird thing about it is that this is the GOAT, but I think people are tired of him. And this is somebody who's been a controversial figure in tennis for so long.
Yeah.
People are upset that he passed Federer's record. He passed Nadal's record.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden, the fact that he's the GOAT has pissed people off.
Yeah.
Alcaraz is a breath of fresh air because it's been 20 years since there's been
An upset.
a guy to challenge the big 3.
Yeah.
And then Federer retires. Nadal's retiring this year and is a shell of himself. It's just one of those things where I think people want to move on. But I think that Djokovic still has a couple Grand Slams.
For sure. And I think Alcaraz is not going to run through everyone.
No.
From here on out.
Yeah,
This weekend, though, did you see Steph Curry?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Let's go ahead and
my
bring that up,
goodness.
dude.
We got to show the video of Steph Curry
go ahead
because
and
my
get that.
man, is there anything this guy can't do? Steph Curry playing in a celebrity golf tournament over the weekend, It was the American Century Championship Celebrity Golf Tournament in Lake Tahoe, Nevada. He is the first person to be a current athlete, like an active athlete, to actually win the tournament. A hole-in-one
walk-off
on Saturday.
Walk-off hole-in-one.
Well, no, the walk-off was on the eagle putt.
Oh, on the eagle putt.
So so Saturday, from 152 yards out.
I'm gonna show the video.
Yeah, let's go ahead and show the video. Did you see the shot?
Yeah.
I mean, it was online.
Career on and off
In. And his excitement to run 152 yards to the flag. That's what I would do. If I had a hole-in-one, I would do the exact same thing. But everybody knew that this was going to be close. And he got it right in the hole, 152 yards out. No. The reaction.
Video is courtesy of NBC Sports, by the way.
Get in the hole!
He's got a chance. Oh, it goes in! And Steph Curry is the winner.
Now, what a great reaction to the putt there on NBC Sports. Was that the putt or was that the
That was the putt.
Okay, so the putt there was for eagle. And the fact that he lined up so far to the right, and it was like a 90-degree turn. I have nailed one of those putts before in my life. It's BS when it happens, though. I've done one of those before, but not in front of thousands of people, not on television. I remember one time when I was in Arizona in a scramble, I hit down, but he did a walk-off putt from what had to be at least 35, 40 feet. Perfect shot. Steph Curry was the winner. Aaron Rodgers played fifth in that tournament. Tony Romo, eighth, and John Elway, ninth.
Damn, that's a good lineup.
Some pretty big names out there.
Yeah. What do you think it would have been if Dak Prescott was in there? Remember that cologne you were showing me the other day?
Oh, yeah. Interception for men.
Is it for the days that you don't want to score?
That's messed up.
We have a new sponsor to the Acquired Taste Network, MCS General Contracting. You can reach out to them at 210-774-9155. Again, that's 210-774-9155. Collectively, more than 30 years of experience in concrete placement, both on the residential and the commercial side. On the residential side, you know, if you want to expand your concrete patio, your driveways and things like that, your porches and things like that, you can reach out to MCS General Contracting, 210-774-9155. If you have a business and you need a parking lot done, driveways, foundations to both a house and a business, MCS General Contracting, 210-774-9155. Give them a call. They do a very good job because they say that they want to have honest pricing and high quality work. They don't want you to have to get it repaired. Get it right, get it done right the first time. MCS General Contracting. Now you are in the business of commercial real estate. Explain to us how important it is to have that foundation and parking lot done right.
Well, not only is it like key, but it depends on. So the biggest price point of change is if you have a retail spot with not enough parking, then like I'll give you an example. Like you can go to La Cantera or the Rim, and besides like days like Black Friday, that parking lot's not full all the way through. But how much a landlord can charge depends on how many parking spaces per 1,000 square feet that they own. Same thing with office. Not that a lot of people have offices anymore, but you know, in San Antonio, I think it's 1.5 parking spaces per 1,000 square feet. So think about having a 3,000 square feet, you know, office, and you only are allotted 5 parking spaces. Like there's going to be way more employees than there are in a 3,000 square foot parking lot. So parking is way more crucial for the value of real estate, especially in commercial. Just people don't know it. They always do the minimum, like 1.5, whatever the city needs. And then 5 years down the line, they're like, man, I should have gone double or triple. Because if you have 3,000 square feet of office space, then you want to have more than 5 parking spots.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have more than 5 employees. Or if you're in a retail spot, you hope to have more than 5 people walking through your door. So it's way more important than anything for value. I think like I think it's more important than how the facade looks, to be honest with you.
Again, MCS General Contracting, 210-774-9155. Chris Leha is our guy when it comes to all that. Chris Leja, a very big supporter of this show, has been following me and my show and my efforts for the past couple of years or so. I appreciate him so much. Chris Leja, 210-774-9155, hanging out with JJ Gorena. JJ is a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
You know, you are an entrepreneur. You do so much around town. I like the fact that you do a lot of workshops with business owners. You do a lot of workshops on how to stay motivated and how to become successful. I know a lot of people who are listening right now might be in that mode where they want to open up a business or they want to start something.
Mm-hmm.
What's a go-to line for you? What's a go-to approach towards getting that done? Because I've been self-employed myself for 17 years.
Sure.
Struggle at first,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the best thing I ever did because I make more money that way and I have more freedom and flexibility that way. But it is a struggle early on for those who are getting started in something.
I think it's all about time, right? Like, so time is what we want, right? Money is money, but the what we really want is time, right? So if you can make as much as you can make in an 8-hour shift and a 2-hour shift, well, that's what's the big draw of entrepreneurship. But this is what I want to tell people because they don't know this. There's 5 regional offices that the Small Business Administration has in the United States. 5. So people from all the way from New Mexico through Oklahoma and all the way down to Louisiana, they have to fly into San Antonio, okay, to get to the SBA, the Small Business Administration, which all of us pay as taxpayers. It's a government-funded association. And we have a regional office in the UTSA downtown campus, but no one knows that. But we have one of the 5. So, like, let's say you're going to open up a business in Oklahoma. You would have to drive to or fly into San Antonio to set up a meeting with the Small Business Administration. But we're very spoiled and we have it downtown and no one uses it. So and I think I had a radio show, maybe you're on it, where I say either people have a hobby or they have a dream or they have a business.
Yeah.
And the only way to figure that out is to go get a business loan. A business plan. And once you have a business plan, and here's the cool thing about the SBA, because I've actually been down there. Let's say we wanted to open up give me anything, bro. Any kind of business at all.
Okay, let's go ahead and say we're opening up my studio for business.
Okay,
correct.
so something to rent out, like a studio to rent out for a podcast.
Yeah.
Here's the cool thing: are there other ones? For sure.
There's for sure.
So, do you think that they have to give? They've done tax returns. They have, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, if you say, "Hey, I want to be like that studio ABC," then you get assigned someone that is in a advertising or communication background. You get assigned a person for free. Yeah. They help you do a business plan, and then you get to look behind the curtain of Oz. So you'll say like, well, how much does ABC spend for rent? How much do they charge?
Yeah.
What is their marketing budget? How much do they pay their employees? How much did they write off on equipment? So imagine having like everyone's financials so that you don't have to have the guesswork of like, I'm going to throw crap against the wall and hope that it sticks. You get to look behind the scenes, and then wouldn't that help you propel yourself to the next level? Because then you don't have to overspend. You know how much you can pay in rent. You know how much you can charge because you know what the market is. Do you see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
That is what people don't do. They call me or they think about it for a while and they go, well, I have this really good idea, but go do a business plan. It's for free in the SBA. It's in the downtown campus of UTSA. You can find it on the left side. It's the SBA. And just go in there and say, hey, I'm a taxpayer. I want a business plan. Do it.
Yeah.
And by the way, it'll take you 2 weeks or 2 years, depending on how much it's the effort that you put into it.
Yeah.
But once you have that, you have a stamped SBA business plan. You can walk into a bank and say, I need money. Or you can go to investors and say, hey, I have this much. I need this much for this location. And then we're making money.
You could get angel investors.
For sure.
Yeah.
And you want to know that anyways, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want to know that anyways? Like, what's my burn rate? When am I in the black? How many? What's my marketing budget? We get too excited about an idea and then we go run at it without preparing for it. But dude, this is free, and it happens to be in our backyard. Just not a lot of people know.
It's worth a lot of money, man. If you have to do this somewhere else, you're gonna charge. You're gonna be charged a lot of money.
Yeah,
a lot of money.
If
you can do it for free.
If they're doing the legwork for you, why not?
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends who are starting businesses now. They're in their 40s. They've worked for
You want to hear a stat?
USAA. What's going on?
Guess when the ages to the most successful age to start a business is. Guess what age it is?
I'm going to say 45.
It's 42 years old.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
man.
because you have experience. You have life experience.
Yeah.
You have a work ethic that's there, and you probably have people that are mentors or that have started something. I have a friend of mine who's starting a chirotherapy
Cool.
type of place over on
Nice.
Bandera and 1604.
Mm.
You know, I have my financial gig, and it's nice seeing a lot of my friends go off and do various things that are entrepreneurial in nature.
Sure.
I have clients because I work in finance and investments and insurances, and I have clients who've done very well for themselves opening up car washes.
Yeah.
You know, there's several on Petrenko Road where I live on, and they've done so well. They take out a $2 million SBA loan.
Mhm.
They put down 50,000, 100,000. It's not a huge percentage, but they have to have some skin in the game.
For sure.
And they've told me, they've shown me their books, and it's just like San Antonio, people in Texas, Austin,
Top.
Dallas. We love our car washes.
Mhm.
And we probably wash our car more than any other people in any other state.
There's
just
one right
something
around the
about us.
corner from me where I have a subscription every month, and I go and I get as many car
they always
washes
gave me
as I
the
want.
subscription. They always gave me
Yeah,
the
man.
subscription.
$30, man. Then you look, I'm spending more than $30. Might as well just get the subscription.
Yeah,
You know?
and I find myself going and getting a car wash every 2 days. I'm like, if it's unlimited for $29.99 or
You just keep on looping around.
you just keep going around.
I got to keep my caddy clean, Mike. I got to keep the caddy clean.
You know what's crazy is that's where I used to find a lot of real estate agents is because I would show up and be like, I'm just gonna get a $6 car wash. I leave with an $80 subscription. I'm like, bro, you want to get out of the sun and make some real money?
And that's it, man.
Those are good salesmen, dude.
They
Really
are.
good, really good.
And you know, I love being in sales. I love it. You know, I worked at USAA for a couple of years. It was the worst job I had in my entire life.
Wow.
And there are some people who love working at USAA, and it's their
They're a good
personality.
company. They have their own zip code.
No, they're a great company. And
burn out, bro.
I've been a USA member. So I'm not saying that USA is a bad place to work. It just wasn't for me.
No, USA is a bad place. I worked there, man, and like maybe a month or two before you actually get tenured in where they can't get rid of you no more.
Yeah.
They call us in for a meeting. Just the people like me that were like a month or two away,
So yeah.
and they're like, "Hey, man, we're gonna have to let you all go." Like,
Mm.
really, bro?
Yeah,
That's how y'all gonna do us dirty like that?
Coincidental, right? Just the timing's coincidental. I remember walking into USAA. That's a big old complex, you know, has all the restaurants inside there. And I remember walking in, and there's like this big gate between two of the buildings, like this big archway.
Mm.
And I remember walking in thinking to myself, welcome to Shawshank. Like, I just knew I wasn't going to like it there.
Wow.
And I, you know what? I learned a lot. I got a lot of licenses there. But the one thing I learned the most was I don't ever want to work for a company ever again. I want to work for myself. And I want to be able to dictate my income. I want to be able to dictate what I do. And the idea...
You need help, though. It's a 92% failure rate in real estate. 92%. That's a big number.
That is, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
and finance. It's 80% in 5 years.
See? Well, you know, I don't know if you know this, but Success Magazine certified me. I'm a business coach now with them. So I've been taking on clients, and only a couple of real estate. They're all different businesses.
Yeah.
But it's my joys. That's my unique ability. I feel is like talking to entrepreneurs and helping them out. It's my favorite thing to do for sure.
The Drew Show reaches out to us on YouTube, says, Mike, USAA has a bomb cafeteria. I worked at USAA Federal Savings Bank. I worked in what was called the Financial Advice Center. I was in the B building, and then I got moved over to the AB building. I remember the one time, okay, so I'm in a building of 20,000 people, right? And my building had only like 2 toilets in it.
What?
God.
And I had to go to the bathroom after lunch one time. And I ran over there, and there was nobody there. Like not nobody there. There was a line for the toilets. So I ran to the C building, and I used the restroom, came on back. I'm a grown-ass man. I'm an adult. And I sat back at my desk, and they're like, where were you? I was like, I had to go to the bathroom. And they were going to like give me a warning for being away from the phone because I had to go to the bathroom. And they put out this form that I had to sign saying that it was a warning and all that stuff. And they had employee comment section. And I wrote down, had to take a shit. I'm a grown-ass man. If I have to go take 3 minutes or 15 minutes, I'm going to go to the bathroom, okay? And that's what I knew. I don't ever want to work for the man ever again. I'm sorry. If I have to go take a dump, I'll go take a dump, okay? And I'm not going to hurry my ass off to get back on the phones for that. I love
you
the
should look. You should look at your conversion rate. How better your conversion rate was when you got back.
yeah,
I bet
pre-dump
you
or
was-
post-dump. Yeah,
Yeah.
there you
Yeah,
go.
man. Don't fall for that, dude. You don't even have to sign that. You can refuse.
Mario reaches out asking the question about car washes, parking garages, and cemeteries are places to be considered to invest in. I don't know how
No
you
lie,
invest in a cemetery, but
Hey, man, the plots of land, dude, you can sell them for big income,
Mhm.
dude.
Cemeteries are
Big
tough.
market.
They're recession proof though.
They are. But car washes are big in San Antonio. The ones that my clients have them in West Texas. They say that the people who have all the trucks that are the roughnecks working on the oil fields,
Sure.
that's where they go. We do sports, we do pop culture, we do nostalgia. Let's get into some pop culture because reports over the weekend that Jimmy Butler of the Miami Heat,
Go.
the GOAT, is reportedly dating superstar, pop star Shakira.
I like this gift right off the bat.
Oh,
Samuel L. Jackson. He's like, what?
yeah. The thing about it is this. Jimmy, 33 years old, Shakira, 46, but she's got that body of a 25-year-old, so it's just a little bit different.
I just can't get over that booty shake she did up on the stage with Jennifer
with
Lopez.
J-Lo in the Super Bowl.
That
She
shake,
made J-Lo look like
man,
crap.
that
I'm
shake-
just telling you.
that booty shake hit different, bro.
No, J-Lo looked like some random chick that works at the mall
yeah,
after that
man.
to me.
Yeah. No,
Shakira was like,
Shakira's legendary.
pay your taxes. But besides that, she's got it all.
No, man. They were trying to screw her over. She won that battle.
Did she?
She won that battle. For those of you who don't know, she was sued by, I think it was the Spanish government for failure to pay taxes because they said that she owed taxes because of the amount of money that she made worldwide. She paid taxes on what she made in Spain. And she goes, no, I'm a citizen of other countries or another country. And so she was saying, I'm taxed by them. And Spain came back and was saying, no, you have to pay all your taxes here. And she went to court and apparently she won.
That's
so
awesome.
But the thing
for
about her, she's 46 years old, 2 kids. She has relocated because she dumped the soccer star who was cheating on her. She's now living in Miami. He plays for the Miami Heat. She has been going to the games. They were seen out and about a couple of months ago. They were seen again in London. This might be a thing.
If that's a thing, dude, I think it's a bigger feat than the 8th seed going to the finals, dude. You don't think that's the bigger feat, don't you think?
And it's an upgrade from Rachel Nichols. I mean, come on, man. That's been the rumor that he was hooking up with
From the
ESPN's Rachel Nichols at the bubble. Never proven, never disproven, but that's always been the rumor.
What's his new name then? It's not Jimmy Buckets if he's dating Shakira. We gotta figure something out.
Jimmy Hips.
Jimmy
man,
Shake.
Who knows, man? Got to try to kind of infuse both of their names together.
Yeah.
Somebody will do it.
Didn't she sing Waka Waka or was that J-Lo?
Oh,
No, I think that was J-Lo.
I think that was Fozzie Bear.
Damn.
She did sing a song called Waka Waka. So
how do you know that?
it's Jimmy Waka Waka, dude. I like it. I like it.
Jimmy Waka?
Jimmy Waka.
No, that's a feat.
I mean, dude, she is one of the most beautiful
That was
women
just
in the
shocking.
world.
Like when she was with J-Lo, everyone was more excited about J-Lo, but I think she exposed J-Lo for what she is, which is slightly above average.
Slightly above average. She's a 7.
Yeah.
She's a 7.
Let's be honest, dude.
In Miami, she's a 4.
You see a lot of J-Los just walking around
Exactly.
here in San Antonio. dude.
Yeah, exactly. I've never seen. I mean,
Shakira's a little bit different, though, man.
No,
There's
Shakira's a
something
little
about it.
different. Yeah.
You know, there's a certain vibe about it, though.
Mhm.
Like I saw a video, and I don't know if it's recent or not, but I saw a video of Eva Longoria
she's another basic.
throwing the first pitch at a Rangers game. She's so cute, dude. You're calling her basic?
I can, man.
Yes, dude.
Come get your boy.
What? Are you kidding me?
Matt Lerma.
Eva?
Matt Lerma reaches out and says, Shakimi.
Shakimi. Hey, I like that.
I like that one.
Shakimi, man.
I like that.
Oh, man.
Jimmy's getting those buckets, according to Tim.
See?
Again, if you subscribe to us on Twitter, we can read your comments in real time.
What? Dude, you know Eve is basic, fool.
Okay, so Chris Gonzalez reaches out and says Mike would go back to USAA to work for the man if that man was Paige Sporonic. Paige Sporonic. That is something that'll never die down, dude. Between my dogs being left out in the rain a few months ago by accident, Jeff Garcia being called Moneybags will never die.
No, that'll never go away.
And the fact that I met Paige Sporonic and I posted a photo of us. She's not basic though. That girl is
Somebody put a
Smoking.
picture of you on her T-shirt, dude. It was
yes,
funny,
I saw
man.
that. I saw that. I do like Shakimi, but come on, man, you can't call Eva Longoria. She's San Antonio royalty. She's Corpus Christi royalty. She's not basic.
Corpus Christi royalty is an oxymoron, dude.
So let's talk about what's going on in Shakita's world. Shakita is dating again in her 40s, right?
Yeah.
She was not married to that guy, but may as well have been. If you're having kids and you're living together, and you may as well be married at that point.
For sure.
So that being said, you and I have something in common, that we both did the bounce back from the divorce.
Sure.
And a lot of people who are listening right now, mostly guys, I'm assuming, sometimes might be asking the question, how do you get back out there? And things like that. Now, the thing about it is that what makes it easier for both me and you is that we have game.
Yeah.
But for those who don't have game, how do you describe the single life? Because you weren't single. I mean, you're still single now, but you're in a relationship.
No, I've been with my girl for 2 years now.
But you were getting back out there in your late 30s.
Yeah. Actually 40.
Okay.
What I could tell people is that you see people make the same mistakes over and over again. I would say just work on yourself. Like there's this, no one ever loses. A lot of people lose money chasing girls, but never lost a girl chasing money, right? And I know that's kind of cliche, but I spent me and my ex, and her, she's a great girl too.
Yeah,
we're still really good friends. I mean, I worked on myself for a while, and then the pandemic happened, and then I was totally alone. Like first time in my life that I didn't have a kid, a dog. I didn't even have a dog with me. It was like a super solo, and it was a pandemic, so I was like super alone. I feel that was good. I think what most people do, they jump from one to the other. But there's got to be a reason why, if you end a marriage like you have before, like I have, it's got to be a reason. It's not one-sided, right? So you got to figure that out. But once you are ready to get out there, the game has definitely changed. Because I was dating in my 20s and then in my 40s, the game's super different, dude.
See, when I got divorced, I was 32 years old.
Okay.
Right. The dating apps were already there,
Were they?
but they were the
Match.com.
they were the serious dating apps. They were the Match.coms, the eHarmonies, and things like that.
Where you have to pay.
Yes, they weren't the they weren't the Tinders out there of, if you just want to hook up, just go to Tinder. If you want to have this, just go to that. And there wasn't a Bumble and all of that stuff.
Tinder's Gucci.
So which apps were you on? Were you on any of them?
Yeah, I mean, Tinder was too, that is like the Matrix dodging of STDs, I'm assuming, but it's like Bumble was probably the best one, I guess.
Yeah. That's where the girl makes the move first, right? Or which one's that one?
Yeah. No. Yeah, Bumble is the one the girl makes the move first. Actually, that one or there's another one that I was on. But
just get off Plenty of Fish, though. I hear that one's.
I don't even think that's real. I think they're just trying to get your credit card information. Hinge was actually decent because Hinge, you can put clever crap to you put there's two. I put something like there's two lies and one truth, and I was like, I text the Spurs Coyote every week, and you put whatever, and of course I know the Spurs Coyote, so that was the truth or whatever. So you put some interesting things about people. But you'll see real quick, dude, between all the dating apps that as divided as the country is, there's a division of people on dating apps where it's just there's a red flag, huge category of people, and there's ones that aren't. But yeah, it's totally different. I think that the biggest difference is that in our 20s, and I told this to my friends I have friends from El Paso that still live in El Paso. And I'm and I blame the girls in El Paso because they'll still sleep with these dudes that live with their mom in their 30s, dude. I'm like, that's their fault, right? when you get to San Antonio or bigger cities, you have to have game. You have to have, you gotta ball a little bit. You have to have a nice car. You have to take care of yourself. You have to, make money and that kind of stuff. Where in the border cities, you're like, oh, let's go back to my mom's house. It's okay, that's not our fault. That's their fault. You know what I mean? If that's gonna happen, then that's also the dating scene is. There's so much more control. It got flipped on us where we were doing all the hustling in our 20s. In the 40s, I felt more oh crap, these girls are after me, which was super weird.
No, it's a story that I tell people all the time, especially guys should know this. Women in their teens, 20s, early 30s dominate the dating scene because when we're chasing after a girl, when we're in middle school and we want the middle school girl, they're dating the freshman. When we're a freshman, they're dating the senior. When we're a senior, they're dating the college guy. they're always a little bit out of reach.
For sure.
Then you find a girl and you have your starter marriage, right?
Practice, baby.
Practice, baby. And then you go on and you for a lot of people, they find their long-term commitment the second time around. But there comes a point when you're about 30, 32, 35 years old when you have to realize that you're actually the one that's the catch.
Sometimes.
That even if you're the 5 and they're the 7 or 8, you're the catch, not necessarily them, because you might have financial stability. You might have a decent job. You might be a good person. And suddenly, the people that you were chasing start chasing you.
For sure.
And I had people who reached out to me when I was single again who wanted to ask me out. That if 15-year-old Michael had been told that girl was going to ask you out and that other girl would ask you out, I would have pinched myself because those are the girls I wish I could have been with when I was in high school. And now they're 31, 32 years old, divorced, and suddenly are looking for a guy to, spend time with, and they're reaching out. And it's so bizarre. And then at the same time, you can always look back and go, well, maybe I'll date somebody who's younger. And I met my wife online.
Sure.
I met my wife online. Prior to that, I had a girlfriend that I had met online as well. And it's just weird because like with one, I knew that wasn't going to be a long-term deal because I just didn't feel like that was like the person I wanted to marry. Right. But at the same time, getting back out there was difficult because I had bad date after bad date after bad
What made
date
him bad?
after bad date. I just thought that there was no chance or effort given in getting to know anybody.
It's superficial.
It's completely superficial. And it was one of those things where I could tell they were single for a reason. They just probably weren't good people.
You're like, oh, there it is.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
I feel like that on both sides. I'm sure they do that with us too. Like, oh, okay, no wonder, right? But I can see how they get more superficial. After all the dating sites and everything, the girl that I met that now I've been in a relationship with, we were friends. We just met organically, which is I feel still sometimes the best way to meet people because she saw me when I was single. She saw me, just being normal and there's no facade. But I would tell, I don't know, what about this? I feel like when you're in your 20s and teens or whatever, you have this checklist. Like I want this, that, and this. And then the second round, I was like, I know I can't live with that. And I know it's more of a can't list than a do list.
Right.
And I think that's even bigger that you'll find like I can deal with a lot of crap, but it's not these things right here. And then that really gets you narrowly focused on, what's better for you.
Yeah, it's just be yourself, man. Just be yourself and don't be a jerk. Don't be a D-bag.
Funny you say that. Once I found my chick, I told all the girls that I was talking to, like, hey, like I was like, instead of like leading them on, I was like, hey, I'm going to take this one seriously. And they were all pretty cool. I mean, a couple weren't cool about it, but for the most part, it was like the nice thing to do. And then now they're my past clients. Like I've sold them houses and stuff. Like I built a database of people because I was never mean.
Right.
Like there's no reason to be a D-bag.
Yeah, there isn't any reason for that. And the whole thing about playing games and stuff like that.
Plus, in San Antonio, you're going to see him at HEB. You're going to see him at HEB.
How are we a city of like 2 million people, but it's the same 18 girls? It's just so funny. We do have a comment from someone named Sue saying it's best to meet someone organically. Interesting. Interesting for two different reasons. Is that the Sue that we think of?
Yeah, that's my girl Sue. So that's not fair. Everyone knows. It is better though. Because we were both on dating sites, and then it worked out. I feel like.
But that's the thing about it though, is that when I got divorced, I was at a very, very low point in my life, and I hadn't hit rock bottom yet. I hit rock bottom probably about a year after the divorce. Rock bottom.
What was her name?
What was her name? Maybe if we had brought out the Buffalo Trace bourbon, maybe at that point. No, rock bottom is basically where you do not like the person that you see in the mirror, when you're not acting the way that you should be acting, when you're just a shell of yourself, when you've turned into the person
that you never wanted to become,
that you wouldn't even want your own daughter to date, And it took a while, and I met my wife, and it like the skies cleared when I met her.
Sure.
And I was.
My favorite thing about you is that you're so about her. It's one of my favorite things about you is that he posts her. He's all about his chick, and I think not a lot of dudes are, and I judge them for that because I am. You know, like if you have a hot chick, why aren't you supporting her? Why are you keeping her a secret? Why are you not it makes her feel better? She's got to feel like a queen, because this dude's like he puts her online like she's better than Eva Longoria, which she is, by the way, because Eva Longoria is basic AF.
Oh, man.
You heard it here first. Basic AF.
Now, you know what's not basic? Our good friends over at Serenity Manor. Dude, you got to check out this place, dude. You got to check out Serenity Manor. It's over on Old Bandera Road. So if you know where Flores Country Store is, it was renovated. So it's catty corner right across the street from them. And it is an outdoor venue and an indoor venue that does weddings. They do quinceañeras, sweet 16s. Yeah, anything that you can think of, corporate events and things like that. They have a small bar. And if you want, do you have the video of me singing? They have a karaoke night there on Thursday nights. Okay. So every other Thursday, they'll have karaoke night. When they're not doing karaoke night on Thursdays, they will have a trivia night. And it's a family thing where people can get together.
That's cute.
Now, teenagers as well. They can bring your kids, have them sing out there. They had about 70, 75 people there for their first karaoke night. They did a very, very good job.
That's a lot.
And yeah, and I did a rendition of Bobby Brown's Every Little Step.
Yeah, I got it right here. So let me go ahead and pull it up.
So are you trying to gain or lose followers with this?
Well, I mean, we're just trying to show how much fun it is out there.
Gotcha.
But had a little bit of a dance in there. Exactly. So Jason's giving me crap about it.
Well,
and I thought, okay, I'll go. But yeah, Every Little Step with
Matt Larma was saying, how was the karaoke?
Drop that.
Well,
let's go ahead and drop that. There you go.
I can never hear Every Little Step I Take the same ever again.
Yeah, and then when you retweeted this, you have an envelope type of thing going on where you have Bobby Brown on the left and right. Crazy. But this was fun. I'm holding a tune.
Yeah, I like it. Right, pretty funny, dude.
Yeah, dude. So again, it's called Serenity Manor, 14405 Old Bandera Road, Helotes, Texas, across from Flores Country Store. Again, you can go there after the shows. You can go out there, get a drink, and they serve beer, wine. They serve margaritas there. This Thursday, they will have trivia night. Next Thursday, next week, they'll have their karaoke night. Any last comments out there, Joe, that you want to reach out there for?
Let's see.
When I turned 21, I did a string of cougars. Man, I didn't realize.
Matt, when I turned 21, I did a string of cougars. You know, I think that's a time in our life, right? Though my daughter one time told me, my oldest daughter, Gabby, who's now at LSU, when I started dating again, I said, maybe I'll date a cougar. And she goes, Dad, when the cougars are your age, you know, she was somehow phrased it as such, where she's like, don't call them cougars, just call them age-appropriate women. And that's when I realized she was going to be bright. You know, she was like 10 years old at the time, telling me off when it comes to this. But, you know, dating is interesting, and that's part of it. I'm glad you're able to share your story, because you and Sue are a great couple. You guys, you know, travel the world from time to time. You guys, you know, play hard. You know, you work hard, play hard, and everything in between. But it just shows that there is life on the other side.
100%.
Because when you are going through a divorce or you're going through a bad breakup, it just seems as though it's just, you know,
work on yourself. That's it.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Yeah. It just seems as though that you're not going to get out of it. Got to get out of that funk.
For sure.
And sometimes you need to have an inspiration, you know, and my wife, when I met her, I was done. Like, I told my wife on our first date, I looked at her and I said, I'm done.
Creeper.
And she goes, I know. And I was like, you don't know what I mean. And she goes, I know what you mean. I said, no, what I'm saying is we're getting married. She goes, I know we are.
Wow.
And we got married 4 months later.
It's crazy.
It was a whirlwind. It was really, really fast. But
you guys are one of my favorite couples, so I love it.
I appreciate that, man. We got to hang out soon.
Let me know.
Joe Garcia has been producing today's show.
Good job, Joe.
Yeah, thanks, man.
The other Garcia, Jeff Garcia, the viral moments.
Oh,
you got to check that out on Locked On Spurs. I know that I typically watch, or listen rather, on Spotify. But if you're going to watch Locked On Spurs, you got to do it on YouTube, because today is the one that you have to watch it on YouTube because of the viral moment that happens about 30 minutes into it. A guy just got, what did he get? $8,000 Wemby card?
That's cool.
Amazing. Amazing. Promote yourself, my man. What you got going on?
At JJ Gorena on everything. At JJ Gorena. I'm a business coach, commercial real estate agent.
Very nice.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate you being on, my man.
Anytime, bro. Let me know.
Tomorrow, another special guest. We've got Johnny Walker.
Blue or black?
From the, he's a member of the San Antonio Sports Hall of Fame. You know
Yeah.
him as one of the greatest high school football players in San Antonio history. He's also somebody who played for the UT Longhorns, and he also played in the NFL as well. Johnny Walker will be in. We'll be talking about the NFL, college football, UT Longhorn football tomorrow. Thank you for everyone who's been following not only on our Spotify, but also on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Thank you for all of our followers out there. Reach out to us if you have any questions. My name is Mike Jimenez. That's Joe Garcia. This is The Acquired Taste. Be back tomorrow.